between them, and the judge is going to have to take a look at the photo to separate this pair. And there is the official photo finish print with Diamond Shower on the outside, scoring by a lip. At Sea was the horse over on the inside, and you can see there that it was a tight one. Couldn't be much closer to a dead heat. A short half head, the official winning margin in favour of Diamond Shower over At Sea, with Just Blooming in third placing. Numbers there were 4, 1 and 5. Well,
racing this time, a tidy sort of a start with the exception of Princess Larcashon, and also a bit slow up Mrs. Mannering and Fafala. Away well come to the bow. Gadessa is showing good speed. Le Couvray is up there with Singing Wonder and driving through Karabahar. Around the outside, Smurfy is going up to them all, and Lockley's Daughter was there, and so too was Wicked Smile, and so too was Why Julie. It's another tightly compact bustle up for the early lead. Just in behind all of those then came making some headway Born a Lady with Fafala. Thorpenay to the outside, and then Norgwin Miss, followed by Le Couvray getting back now. Mrs. Mannering about third last, back with it Rebecca Gay and Princess Larcashon and Rory's Twig together at the tail. On the swing for home there on the Swettenham Stud Stakes, 4:50 to go, and Singing Wonder got to the clear lead. A length of Smurfy coming at it now, so too is Wicked Smile. The stablemate Gadessa winding up, and Karabahar anxious to get room. Out wide to come to the bow, followed by Wide Julie, and then Fafala, followed then by Born a Lady, and Lockley's Daughter out wide, and so is Rebecca Gay, but the leader is Wicked Smile with 100 to go. In second placing, the stablemate Gadessa. They'll fight it out, followed by Rebecca Gay, and further back come to the bow. It's Wicked Smile in front, and it's Hayes again. Hayes gets another one up for Gavin Eads this time. Wicked Smile second placing, close up the stablemate Gadessa. Come to the bow, flashed up and might get third. It's one of a few chances though, including Rebecca Gay, who's right in this. Thorpenay flashed home, Karabahar just behind them. Fafala and Born a Lady, Smurfy, all there in a heap of horses. They were followed then by Mrs. Mannering, Lockley's Daughter, followed by Princess Larcashon, Rory's Twig, Norgwin Miss, Singing Wonder, Le Couvray, and pulling up quickly but beating some home, Why Julie.
Well, it hasn't been a real big day for Colin Hayes, has it? Another winner there, and in fact he trained the Quinella there with Wicked Smile, number 14, ridden by Gavin Eads, a winning double for him, defeating number 15 Gadessa. And looking at that, it looks like number 1 Rebecca Gay might have got third, allowing for the angle, but Ron fancies number 8 Come to the Bow, but it's very tight between Come to the Bow and Rebecca Gay, but just looking at that on the angle, maybe Rebecca Gay third with a flying finish. So 14, 15 and a photo after race 7 in Adelaide. Another big day for Colin Hayes. One to go at Sandown Park, the Tommy Woodcock handicap at 5:05, and we'll be back with all the information on the Lucky Last in just a moment.
Dancing around on the inside. They're off. And a little slow to begin was King's Currency, and Imperial Coup wide out, one of the best, away from King's Chariot, looking for the lead and getting it. The longest time, third, then Military Attaché, and very deep as Rocket Lad. A length of its Lunchtime and Allured, followed by Ace It Up, and then King's Currency. A length further back is Comic Verse. Racing on the inside of Unquestioned Noble Player, second last Absolute Jury Box. Travelling along past the 1100 metres, and King's Chariot races away with a lead of 5 lengths. Rocket Lad's gone across one off the rails to be almost second, not quite now, as punching through on the inside is Imperial Coup, a length and a half into Military Attaché, followed on the inside by the longest time. A length further back comes on the outside Allured, and then it's Lunchtime. A length further away, Ace It Up from King's Currency, and then Unquestioned, followed by Noble Player, Comic Verse, and Ford a Jury Box. At the 700 and the leader King's Chariot, 3 Rocket Lad, ahead the fence Imperial Coup, 1 the top weight Military Attaché, the longest time locked away, then Allured, and it's Lunchtime, followed midfield on the inside by Ace It Up, and then Noble Player and King's Currency. A length to Unquestioned, Comic Verse, and last of all is Jury Box around the bend, and King's Chariot about 3 lengths on Rocket Lad and Imperial Coup, and then it's Lunchtime, followed by Military Attaché, hard ridden from Allured, and a length further back King's Currency. Unquestioned is starting to make not much headway now. At the 200 metres, it's Lunchtime, hit the lead from King's Chariot. Noble Player running home well, followed by Allured, but it's Lunchtime, and El Dittman just in front. Noble Player cutting it down on the outside. Noble Player, it's Lunchtime. Noble Player a nose. It's Lunchtime, I reckon. Now for third. Oh, gee, it's close between Allured and Military Attaché. Then the longest time, King's Chariot, Comic Verse, and Unquestioned, followed by Ace It Up, Jury Box, Rocket Lad. Second last in the field on the inside was Imperial Coup, and back last King's Currency.
Another tight one in Sydney, but Noble Player, number 3 on the outside, has got it, and here you see them coming down towards the line, very little in it. with It's Lunchtime. Mick Dittman punching it out, but he just wasn't able to punch it out sufficiently. And on the outside, Noble Player sticking his head in front right on the line, and you'll find that Noble Player will get this photo. Only a short half head or a half head over It's Lunchtime, and it's very close for third between number 14 Allured and number 1 Military Attaché. They're the two in the photo for third, as called by Ian Craig. So 3-8 in the photo, race 7 in Sydney. 1 to go at Sandown, the Tommy Woodcock handicap, a field of 15. Runners in the mounting yard to discuss their prospects here.
You can hear it. It's the walk between good friends.
It's a rainbow round the bend, shining its light, makes no difference where I go. You're the best hometown I know. Hello, Melbourne. Hello, Melbourne. We'll bring you a Channel 7.
Maybe the
I'll see if he's in.
Can you check this out? Whatever you
It's
think.
a long distance call for you.
Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying. Only the echoes of my mind. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going where the weather suits my clothes. Banking off of the northeast winds, sailing on summer breeze. Skipping over the ocean like a stone.
The new Mitsubishi Colt sedan, dedicated to you and the open road.
At Just Jeans, winter's breaking early. Guy's Bedford Cord Easy Fits and Oki multi-panels are a bedrock $39.99. The latest brace jeans, just $44.99. Oki mini checks, only $39.99. Grandpa tops, $24.99. Oki mini check skirt, a once only $29.99. Grab the bold new looks now, because winter's prices won't be this rock bottom. Pick up the essentials at Just Jeans.
When just one delicious dollop of cream can make so many things taste so much better, perhaps you should be dolloping more. Cream, the delicious dollop.
Terry Collicutt, international dog judge and breeder of champion boxers, talks about Pal.
I always say, if you see a healthy dog, you know he's been fed right. When it comes to nutrition, you can't beat Pal. Pal is top quality, it's full of meaty chunks, plus a perfect balance of all their vitamins and minerals. The dogs adore it. They just love its meaty taste. I feed Annie and all my champions on Pal, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
Top breeders recommend Pal.
The Collingwood Football Club turned back the clock tonight and appointed a gutsy little rover as captain. 26-year-old Tony Shaw was rewarded for 9 years of loyal service. A veteran of 170 games, Shaw has been given the task of taking the Magpies into the finals this year. The tough little rover has all the attributes of Lou Richards, who led the Woods to a premiership win back in '53. Shaw gets his first chance to lead the Woods when they play Geelong next Tuesday night at VFL Park. Well, there's no doubt the Aussies will be fired up for tomorrow's crucial cricket final against England in Sydney. Alan Border and the boys were upset today about Steve Waugh missing out on Player of the Series. But the team will have a lot more to moan about if they can't stop England wrapping up the series.
In light of his swashbuckling performance against the Windies last Friday, and despite his failure against England on Sunday, it seems keeper Tim Zura will be retained as Jeff Marsh's opening partner.
You know, you got rave notices after whacking the West Indies around and, you know, missed out in Melbourne, but that can happen. So quite keen to use him again because he's a stroke player, and if he does get going, you know, it gives us that good start.
Good starts are what limited over cricket is all about. Botham's demolition job at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on Sunday proved that. Despite the field restrictions in the opening 15 overs, it did cross Border's mind to introduce Peter Taylor early in an effort to exploit Botham, remembering Taylor has picked up the beefy all-rounder cheaply 3 times already this summer.
I was tempted to do it, but you know, decision. Yeah, it was just one of those things. You know, he could have got bloody 25, 30 off one over, and you know, the game's all over at that stage. So it's just one of those situations. You hope the medium paces can bowl well, and he just makes a mistake.
I think we'd be equally delighted if we could do the same sort of thing again tomorrow, and do the same sort of job, and make sure that no one else got to play any more cricket again this year in Australia.
Golf now, and the Great White Shark had another reason to celebrate today. Greg Norman turned 32 and received a surprise birthday present from the organisers of the Australian Masters. It was Pro-Am Day at Huntingdale today, but as Stephen Quartermain reports, 2 of the overseas stars almost didn't make it.
Most people at Huntingdale didn't know it was Greg Norman's 32nd birthday.
What is it?
And the Shark would have been happy to keep it a secret, but he didn't have a chance. Norman was presented with a shark cake, a Kubra and all, plus a magnum of Bollinger. The world's #1 was quick to sink his teeth into his present.
Want a piece? Yeah. You don't eat your own cooker, right?
Norman should have celebrated with a birdie on the first, but missed an easy putt and had to settle for par. There was a host of celebrities also playing today. Lou Richards is definitely better behind a microphone, although VFL boss Ross Oakley showed he's got plenty of class. Another man who swung the clubs today was Robert De Castella. He too can hit the ball quite well, although he does have a confidence problem.
Robert, we know you can run, but can you play golf?
Well, I can get around 18 holes, but I don't know. I think some people probably wouldn't call it golf.
How would you describe your golfing prowess?
A lot of room for improvement.
Bernard Langer and American Scott Hoke almost didn't make it today. Their plane from Hawaii was late, and Langer didn't hit off until just before 3 o'clock. Nevertheless, the West German was in good touch and says he's confident of winning his 2nd Masters title.
Oh, I'm not too worried who is playing in the field. I know Greg Norman is a very, very good player, and there's so many other very good players. I just have to worry about my own game, play shot by shot, and hopefully do my best I can, and then find out on Sunday how good that is.
Well, one of the world's most glamorous athletes will tackle this year's star-studded Stawell gift field. And it's not Carl Lewis, but a triple gold medalist at Los Angeles, Valerie Briscoe-Hooks. 26-year-old Valerie Briscoe-Hooks turned all heads at the Coliseum back in '84. Her flashing smile, long pigtails and amazing athletic ability permitted her to take gold in the 200, 400 and 4x400 metres. Carl Lewis was the champion of the Games, but Valerie Briscoe-Hooks stole the limelight amongst the girls. At Easter, Valerie will tackle the men at a game they believe they dominate, professional foot running. And previous winners John Dynan and Chris Perry welcome her entry into what's been a men's domain for more than 100 years.
What chance has Valerie Briscoe-Hooks got of winning Stawell this year?
Well, it's very dependent upon what handicap Kevin Mackay gives her. There's been a lot of rumours touted about she might get 10. She'd probably need about that sort of mark to have a realistic chance.
She's a phenomenal athlete, and I think she'd be a bonus to running out here. People can learn a bit off her, and she's a woman of great experience in running.
Whether Valerie can beat the blokes at Stawell is another matter. One thing's for sure, she'll turn a few heads. Well, the reason Bruce isn't here tonight is because there's a twilight meeting at Moonee Valley, so let's go to our live wire unit. And Bruce, I believe you've uncovered a champion there today, Bruce.
Well, he's a pretty good horse, Tony. We're talking about High Statesman, who won the 2nd race here today. It was a most interesting event. A couple of 2-year-olds trying out for the Blue Diamond. We had one from Epsom, who they put a fortune on, Centaur. One from Flemington, Surrey Prince, who they said was unbeatable. And this little netty from Caulfield called High Statesman. Let's have a look at the replay and just see what High Statesman did to the opposition. Surrey Prince about a half to 3/4. High Statesman on the turn. He's going well, the leader. He's had to give High Statesman a crack with the whip there. 2 lengths to Strawberry Ranch and Royal Joust. Into the straight, High Statesman moved up quickly and went past Surrey Prince and kicked away. Then Strawberry Ranch and Royal Joust, but High Statesman's got a good lead. He's 2 lengths in front of Strawberry Ranch, Surrey Prince and Royal Joust, and a most impressive debut. High Statesman 3 lengths, 2nd Strawberry Ranch. Good go, 3rd between Subsonic and Royal Joust. Looks absolutely outstanding, High Statesman, and he'll now go for the Blue Diamond. He's bred to win anything by Biscay from Victoria Peak, a very, very impressive colt. There was a big race in New Zealand today, one of the biggest sprint races there at Te Rapa, over 1,400 metres. That's in the Hamilton area. And the big interest was that Bone Crusher was resuming. The race was expected to be much too short, 1,400 metres. Let's pick them up on the home turn. Bone Crusher's near the rear on the inside with the brown cap. Watch him get to the line. He does a great job.
Crusher back on the inside, 12 off the leaders as they head for home. Diamond Lover in front. Here's Arctic Wolf, Steely Dan making bids after it. Pinson is next, then followed Cool Deal. Tidal Light putting in a beauty down the very outside, and Bone Crusher will have to thread his way through. 200 to go. Arctic Wolf, the lightweight, on the outside of Diamond Lover. Here's Courier Bay coming home strongly after them with Tidal Light out wide. Courier Bay, Arctic Wolf, the two. Tidal Light on the outside. Bone Crusher flashing home, but Courier Bay has beaten Arctic Wolf second. Third at the line then was Tidal Light. Bone Crusher, what a wonderful race, about fourth.
Yes, it was a wonderful performance. Now, the time they ran was an Australasian record. We've never had one as fast in Australia, so he's been beaten about 3 lengths. The horse that won Courier Bay is absolutely top class. Frank Ritchie has spoken to a couple of the press boys here at Moonee Valley. He's already booked his ticket for Flemington and the Australian Cup. And the other big rumour out here today is that Waverley Star may also run in the Australian Cup. We'll know more about that tomorrow. So we might have Bone Crusher versus At Talac versus Waverley Star. So it's going to be exciting, Tony. There are 2 more races out here. Somebody's pulled my coat. I've got to go and have a bet. Back to you.
You haven't got a tip for those phone account bettors, have you, Bruce?
I think a horse called Vic Torlik might win the next race here.